In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bets for Saturday, March 15th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our March 15th NBA slate we got going on for Saturday. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetJSD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 9.57 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a much broader audience. All right, now we're going to get over to the Patreon, but before I do that, we're going to talk about the previous video here, and we're going to point out Gatorman Smith 1999. This is your little 2 seconds of fame right here, and I want to call you out just because he went in the comment section talking all this garbage. Like, I don't have proof in the pudding, and I don't put my plays out, or I don't have any winning plays, but I had plenty of people back me up here in the comment section. Dunya Barnes just telling people to leave. If you don't like the content, leave. I'm here day in and day out for the most part, and really coming through with these angles that not a lot of people can see here. And I'm trying to keep it straightforward and get to the winning plays. All right, you got there's narratives on either side, and a lot of people are not genuine. I am genuine, and I'm showing this in these videos day in and day out. Shout out to Miggy Mac covering my back as well. He's actually in the Patreon. I message him in the Patreon as well. These are people that are here day in and day out with plays, and we all help each other in this community. That's what it's all about. And then it's even bad that he tries to talk about my record and wins, and we go on a pace like this again. So the last video, I told you we had 2 college basketball plays, 2 parlays that cashed. This was today's parlay that cashed, 3-legger, just simple. It's about getting the win. All right, Michigan State, Memphis, and Auburn. All right, that was a nice 3-leg early in the day to go off. But then we go on with our plays for Friday. Michigan State, win. Auburn, win. Memphis, win. Wisconsin, win. Maryland, when everyone was on Illinois, win. Duke, win. BYU was the only stumble, and I just took the points there, but we bounced back. Florida, they covered the 8.5. And then we're waiting on Alabama, and we're rolling into NBA. Right now, the Cavs are up by 23 points in the third quarter. We're not going to call that game yet. We're going to keep going on. Heat, I took the points. That did not hit. Pacers, cover the 9. Clippers, they already won on the money line. Rockets, cover the 9.5. And then the Magic are up by 9, and I asked for the plus 11. So what are we talking about here? So if you guys don't want to miss out on these plays and the community that we're building, I go over to the community right now. I clicked on it right here live for you. All right, do not miss out. We're bouncing off plays here. We're cashing parlays, as you can see here from D Hunt. We got Kamisha putting up plays. Kang just dropped a question here. Well, this is what it's all about. You guys need to sign up. Click on that link provided down below in that description. You're getting access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes 24/7. This price is way too cheap right now. Just letting you know that. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. First game up here in Barclays Center, we have the Brooklyn Nets 22-44 going up against the Boston Celtics here 48-19. Looking at the current odds for this one, we have the Celtics as road favorites here, minus 650 on the money line, with the comeback of the Brooklyn Nets at a plus 475. Point spread at 11.5. Total points at 213.5. Full game public bet percentage here, 92% of the bets, 90% of the money all over Boston. For the point spread, no information as of right now on that one, but for the the total points, 95% of the bets, 96% of the money towards the over 213. It was 214. It has dropped recently here to 213.5 now. All right, looking at the injury report here for the Boston Celtics here. Jaylen Brown is out and Kristaps Porzingis is out. We'll see what happens during Saturday after practice. We'll see if they're going to, continue to sit Jaylen Brown and Kristaps. They might alternate because they sat in this previous game, because this is the Celtics' second game of a back-to-back here. They just beat the Miami Heat, and now they got to go over to Brooklyn. So we're going to see what the arrangements are going to be for their starting five. So definitely wait on news for the Celtics. But the Nets, Trent Watford's out, Noah Clowney's out, Nick Claxton's out, and Cam Thomas is out. So these are major outs here for these Brooklyn Nets. So it's just Cam Johnson and the casting characters there for the Brooklyn Nets. In the first matchup, Celtics won. Nets covered the 13.5 and they went under 220. The second game, Celtics won. Celtics covered the 10.5 and it went over 219.5. And in this game here, they brought it down to 214. It was just lowered right now live to 213.5. And the point spread here is at 11.5. All right, now this Nets team here, despite with or without Cam Thomas here, they've still been playing tightly contested games. Against Chicago, only lost by 6. Cleveland only lost by 5. They beat the LA Lakers. They lost only by 3 to Charlotte and only lost by 2 to Golden State. Now, all those games were with Cam Thomas, and he's usually a big X factor for me. All right, so without Cam Thomas, who is definitely a proponent to scoring more, helping out this offense here, I'm going to have to lean towards the Celtics to cover this number in back-to-back games. This is a really ugly game, so I'm going to lean to the Celtics minus 9.5. I'm always going to give you the 9.5, all right? It came through for us in the games that I showed you yesterday with the Houston Rockets. They're up big, and with the previous game, who is that team right now? The Pacers. The Pacers covered at 9.5. They only won by 12, all right? So you just want to make it sure and get the W, all right? So both of those covered. We're going to make it Celtics 9.5, minus 9.5 in this one. I can't get over the fact about Cam Thomas not playing for the Nets. That's a big loss to me. For the total, I think the Nets are going to struggle to score offensively, and I'm going to go towards the under 213.5. I think it's a more slow tempo pace. We're not sure which guys they're going to be going for the Celtics as well, and I think the Nets offense is going to be hampered. All right, so minus 9.5 Celtics and under 213.5 for the total. In the Little Caesars Arena here, we have the Detroit Pistons 37-30 going against the Oklahoma City Thunder here 54-12. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Thunder road favorites minus 235 on the money line, with the comeback of the Pistons at a plus 190, point spread at a 5.5, total points at 235.5. Public bet percentage, 91% of the bets, 88% of the money, all over OKC. For the point spread, 79% of the bets, 74% of the money on OKC to cover. And for the total, 81% of the bets, 83% of the money here towards the over 235.5. If we're looking at the injury report here for both of these teams, OKC Thunder, Jalen Williams is still out. Aaron Wiggins is a game-time decision. Chet Holmgren is out. Alex Dukas is a game-time decision. And Ajay Mitchell is out. For the Detroit Pistons, we have Jaden Ivey out until April, and then Ron Harper Jr. is a game-time decision, all right? Both of these teams haven't faced each other yet this season. Both teams, one team is obviously red hot in the OKC Thunder, only losing to Denver. And the Pistons have been a little bit up and down in this stretch here of the last 10 games, only beating Washington and Portland in those 2 out of the last 5 games, all right? This here, with this particular spot, I love the resurgence of the Detroit Pistons, but this current stretch right now, they cannot compete with the OKC Thunder, even if they're sitting Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams here. SGA single-handedly by himself, and the step up from this bench here that we're seeing with the OKC Thunder, they are solidified here, and I love them in this spot on the road. And we're going to go across the board here with a sweep. Give me the Thunder on the money line. Give me the Thunder to cover the 5.5, and for the total of 235.5, I think that's a little bit too high. I think this game here between the Pistons and the Thunder is going to be more tightly contested and a slower tempo here. We're missing Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams. We're missing some pieces as well on the Piston side. So I think this is going to be a lower total here. Give me the under 235.5. If we look at the last 5 matchups, the last 6 matchups, they only gone over this total by 1 point once in the last 6 games. All right, so give me the under 235.5. In Toyota Center here we have the Houston Rockets 42-25 going up against the Chicago Bulls 28-38. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, starting off with the Rockets at home favorites here, minus 450 on the money line with the comeback of the Bulls at a plus 340, point spread at a 9.5, total points at 232.5. No public game bet percentage as of right now. So checking over with the injury report here, starting off with the Chicago Bulls, Josh Giddey is a game time decision. Lonzo Ball is out. Kobe White is a game time decision. Ayo Dosunmu is out for the season. All right, Houston Rockets, Amon Thompson, they're better defenders here and all around players. He's out, and Reed Shepherd is out as well. This is the second game of a back-to-back here for the Houston Rockets. Just so you know, Houston Rockets with no rest, they're 5-9 in there. That's a 35% hit rate against the spread. Okay, and in this spread here we have a 9.5, so that's a big question mark there. Houston Rockets and Bulls already played earlier this year. Rockets won on the money line, covered the number of 4.5, and it went over 233.5. So for this game here between these two teams, we got an over at 232.5. I'm going to lean towards the over yet again here, but I definitely see a more tightly contested game here between the Bulls and the Rockets. Like I said, we want to take advantage of the Rockets in the second game of a back-to-back. Bulls have been playing phenomenally as of late, winning 4 in a row, beating Orlando, Miami, Indiana, and Brooklyn. Rockets have been on a nice win streak as well. To be 100% exact, they've been on a 5-game winning streak. So this is a nice spot here with two teams that are trending upwards, and we have a possibility here of Josh Giddey, who's been playing phenomenal, to be back in this game as well. I'm really liking the Bulls to be a feisty underdog in this one. All right, so give me the plus 9.5 with the point spread. I like a lot of points in here, and with the total, give me the over 232.5. The last 6 meetings between these two teams, they have gone over this number of 232.5. In Fiserv Forum here, we have the Milwaukee Bucks 37-28 going against the Indiana Pacers 37-28. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Bucks home favorites minus 200 with the comeback of the Pacers at a plus 165. Point spread at a 4.5. Total points at 236.5. Public bet percentage here, 85% of the bets, 84% of the money towards Milwaukee for the point spread, 70% of the bet, 71% of the money towards Milwaukee to cover. For the total points here, no data as of right now on that game here, but I can tell you right now, between these two teams, they love to go over the total. All right, especially where it's at right now, around that 230 range, 236.5. In the last 6 matchups, they've gone over this total. 1, 2, 3. So they've gone over the total technically 3 out of the last 6 games. I mean, really, two out of the 6 games. All right, 230 is really the cusp here. The 6.5 is what's going to be make or break here. I'm going to go towards the over in this game, the way that they've been playing here. We got a 113 or 126. We got a 129 or 117. We have a game that ended at 232 points, so it's going to be right there on the number. They had another game that was at 229 points. So this number here is pretty exact, and it could be a coin toss here between the over and the under. I'm going to lean towards the over in this one between the Bucks and the Pacers. They tend to put up a big amount of points here, back and forth type of environment, high scoring as well, with the 3-point shooting ability on both sides as well. So give me the over 236.5. If we're looking at the injury report, Isaiah Jackson's out for the season for the Milwaukee Bucks. We're waiting on Kevin Porter, Tyler Smith, Giannis, and Damian Lillard, all game time decisions. They're most likely going to play in this game. game here. Bucks coming off a blowout win against the Lakers, and then Pacers winning back-to-back games against Milwaukee and Philly. I think Milwaukee gets redemption in this game. They should have had that last one, which was 4 days ago, and they had a Tyrese Halliburton 4-point play. Give me the Bucks here to win on the money line. We're not going to touch the point spread here. Just give me the win, which is a low money line anyway at -200. So Bucks on the money line and the over 236.5. In FedEx form here, we have the Memphis Grizzlies 42-25 going up against the Miami Heat 29-37. If we're looking at the odds for this game here, Grizzlies at home again here. This is the second game of back-to-back. Both teams here, second game of back-to-back. Heat lost to the Celtics. Grizzlies lost to the Cavaliers. Grizzlies are -285. Heat on the comeback at a +225, point spread at a 7.5, and the total at 228.5. Full game public bet percentage here: 83% of the bet, 79% of the money towards Memphis Grizzlies. For the point spread here, 62% of the bets, 70% of the money towards Memphis to cover, and for the total points, 71% of the bets, 65% of the money towards the over 228.5. If we're looking at the injury report here for both of these teams, Miami Heat, Nikola Jovic is out, Drew Smith is out for the year, and Alec Burks is a game-time decision. And then Memphis Grizzlies here, Santi Aldama is out, and Zion Pullen is out as well. Right now, these two teams are in the opposite direction. Heat are struggling. They're currently on a 6-game losing streak as of right now. And for the Grizzlies, they just lost to Cleveland after a nice little win streak there, and they're looking to bounce back in this spot here against Miami Heat. All right, looking at these two here, with the Grizzlies, they should not give you any confidence of covering numbers at all. They've really struggled on that, despite the fact they've been winning all these games. Utah they covered, or was it 9? They were home. Let me double check on this one. With this Utah-Memphis game, did they cover that number was the question. No, they didn't. See, it was 10. So with majority of Memphis games, they have not covered the number besides the one Dallas game here. And obviously, they just outright lost against Cleveland. And then the Heat, they've been struggling. Even though they're getting healthier now, you can't trust them to win. But you can't trust the Memphis Grizzlies to cover. So you got two opposites here. And I have to go with the points with the Miami Heat. All right, this is too many points here for the Heat. Both of these teams here with the same back-to-back, no rest. All right, they're in the same predicament here. Give me the Heat +7.5 with the points. For the total, I believe that is way too high for me. They've only gone over this total in the last 6 games. Twice out of the last 6 games, they're getting over this total here. Second game of a back-to-back, no rest. I think this is going to be a lower scoring, slower tempo type of game anyway. Give me the Heat +7.5 and the under 228.5. Last but not least here in Chase Center, we have the Golden State Warriors 38-28 going against the New York Knicks here 42-23. Looking at the current odds for this one, Warriors at home -275 on the money line. Knicks at a +220. Point spread at a 6.5. Total points at 229.5. Full game public bet percentage here, 88% of the bets, 81% of the money, all over the Golden State Warriors. For the point spread, 78% of the bets, 85% of the money here on Golden State Warriors to cover. And for the total points here, 87% of the bets, 81% of the money towards the over 229.5. Looking at the injury report here between these two teams, Knicks still dealing with Jalen Brunson out, Ariel Ahakporti is going to be out, and Delon Wright is going to be a game-time decision. For the Golden State Warriors, Brandon Potts is going to be out, but they do have Jonathan Kuminga back in full action here, and he played phenomenally in that game against Sacramento. This whole team, when you get all these pieces together, is going to be very, very dangerous here, especially when we're talking about the playoffs here. And this is the Knicks team. Yes, they have won 2 games in a row, but it took them to overtime for them to beat the Portland Trail Blazers on a Hail Mary here. And the Golden State Warriors are absolutely on a tear right now with a 6-game winning streak. So they're going for a 7th game as of right now here. And this Golden State Warriors team, you do not want to be in their way. I don't think this Knicks team without Jalen Brunson here has enough to beat this Warriors team. They've been on a covering spree as well. I like the Warriors across the board in this one. Warriors on the money line, Warriors to cover the 6.5. And for the total, I like the total over 229.5. I think there's going to be tons of points here. The efficiency of the Warriors offense, and it's going to have to be and force the Knicks here to keep up pace. This could be a very high-scoring game. I can see big numbers from Cat, from Mikal Bridges. Josh Hart is going to be a candidate for a triple-double. And then for the Warriors side, they have a cast of characters: Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and not to mention Jonathan Kuminga here. Love the Warriors in this spot, in the total over 229.5. All right. So for this particular video here on Saturday, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you look at that description section down below. Get connected. All right. And do not miss out on this Patreon, all right? We had phenomenal last couple days. We're doing very well in college as well. Getting ready for the March Madness. Remember, the futures are in the Patreon as well. March Madness futures and NBA Finals futures are already uploaded. If you want to find out who's going to win, click on that link right down below. Get access. You're going to get daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes up 24/7.